Okay, I totally said I wasn't going to do this, which is shoot footage or video while I'm talking at the same time, because I tried that already before for my as an adjunct to my brutalism article, which is like the most viewed thing on this blog. Wait, this isn't the blog. This is my channel. This is going to be linked to my blog. Anyway, it's going to be noisy because I made the really, really intelligent decision of doing this at exactly noon. So this is the merge onto the Granville Street Bridge. I'm also completely wired for sound because I had 2 cups of Kicking Horse coffee, and I realized I hadn't had coffee in like, I don't know, 10 days. Whoops, big mistake there. I forgot how much this stuff is awesome. Anyway, so the weather's cooled down quite a bit, which is why I'm sniffling and I'm not enunciating my words quite as much as I want to. And I really hate the sound of my own voice. I tried this already before. But you know what? What I really want to do is actually make some videos that complement my blog, but do voiceover, like have a script and then do voiceover, like make it actually kind of pro and totally not humiliating. But I don't have time today to dick around, or at any time really, to dick around with photo editing software and totally work myself up into a fury over my being unable to understand it. I'm sure it's easy. Some of the biggest morons on YouTube know how to do it, but nobody said I wasn't a moron. I'm probably the smartest retard you'll ever meet. So here we are, Granville Street Bridge. Now, this is like the most terrifying bridge to drive on, to cycle on, and to walk on. And in case it hasn't occurred to you yet, this is totally unscripted and one take, and it's going to be awful, but I don't really care. So, the drivers just put the pedal to the metal, if you know what I mean, and just go for it. And the cyclists have absolutely had it, and the pedestrians just gotta move. Like, there is no hanging out or sort of dilly-dallying or moseying on this bridge. Like, if you're walking, you are just getting to your destination. So the city has done some repairs or some developments on this bridge. A lot of it was closed off for quite some time, which slowed down traffic, which is always a great thing. And then mid-August, and I took some shots, which are in my blog, they were like, well, we're unveiling the 50 million or however the fuck much it was, development on the bridge. And it was benches, right? So they do have, the bridge did not used to have a bike lane as far as I know. So bikes would actually go on this sidewalk, which is insane. But I also wouldn't, ride my bike in this traffic at all. So I guess they added a bike lane here, maybe on the other side, I don't know. And then what looks like a pedestrian lane and a concrete divider, which is quite beautiful. So generally what's happening is you're walking along the bridge, right? And just trying to get to your destination, which is the other side. And so what the city did, and my initial thoughts on this were like the whole city's thoughts, which was to ridicule what you're looking at right now, which is a bench, a bench. And we're like, oh, this is the whole project, and this is city sheepishly said, like, oh, this is just sort of the beginning of what we're doing here. I don't know what else you can do to this damn thing. But everybody kind of made fun of the bench situation. I initially did too. That's how my wheels were turning when I started drafting the sort of essay I had for this. And then I realized something. Because it's such a harrowing walk over this thing, right? You've got this. I mean, never mind the fact that they built it so if you're walking, you sort of have to swerve around the base of it. Bench. And you get to sit down. No, there's a concrete barrier dividing you from those terrible, terrible cars. And look at the view. they decided this was a good way to do it. Not, maybe have a bench about 3 feet higher or something like that. Or, I don't know, maybe, well, I guess they can't have a gap in this gate because there's so many people who threaten suicide on this thing. But, I realized, sit down. You're just at the beginning of your journey, and it's not fun. It's never fun. And you can just sort of go, yeah, I'm having a rest here. I'm resting on the bench, and I'm looking through metal at what should be a beautiful view. I mean, that's some city planning, right? And then you're like, well, I gotta keep going, because there's nowhere to go. Obviously, there's nowhere to stop in the middle of the bridge. It's just one side to the other. I mean, look at that woman. She just passed me a second ago, and she is hoofing it. That's the only way to do it. And, God help people who actually are looking at their phones and scrolling and texting. I can't believe I'm doing this right now. I can't believe I've got my phone out, and I'm looking through it to walk across Granville Street Bridge. But there is the barrier, right? So I'm at least quite a few feet away from the cars, but also drivers here are among the worst in the world. So I wouldn't put it past any of them to lose control, because they do go fast. Like, they'll go 90 kilometers an hour over this thing to just hop that barrier and plow right into me and then have me tumble over across into this. And this is the other thing about Granville Street Bridge. It's so high that when you do look over, and you shouldn't, you get that insane feeling of should I jump? Maybe I should just jump. Or just this vertigo where I don't know, the hand of God or the demon lord of whomever is going to just go rawr and actually push you over. So anyway, you're walking right about the halfway mark. Look what you got. Look what you got. I don't know why there's a concrete barrier here and on the other side, but they're protecting another bench. And I don't also know why this one has a ramp. But I mean, somebody must have knew what they were doing. There must be some kind of reason for the pedestrian walkway, which absolutely nobody uses, to have a concrete thing here, and then a ramp, as if anybody who's in a wheelchair going to go across this bridge. But anyway, I guess if you really are going to use, let's say, the pedestrian walkway, do this, and you're like, you know what, I can't negotiate this half a foot. What I'm gonna do is walk up this ramp to get to the second bench, and then you get to sit, and you get an even better view. Look at that. I'm telling you, Vancouver city planners are geniuses. And so you just get the opportunity, because there's nothing to fucking look at here. You get the opportunity to sit and think. And you think about your destination on the other side, maybe the last remaining Chapters bookstore on Granville and Broadway, or the Value Village boutique that opened up a few years ago, which isn't too bad actually. Or Paul's Omeletteria, which I've never been to. Or even my doctor's office, which is just off Granville on 7th Avenue. Now, he's not actually a doctor, he's a nurse practitioner. 1 out of 5 British Columbians don't actually have a family doctor. So that's, 20%? Yeah, good enough, 20%. So out of 5 million British Columbians, that's 1 million people who cannot get a family doctor. So I did manage to get an NP. He can do kind of what any doctor can do. So he can prescribe stuff, though he never prescribes the good shit. Give me lab requisitions. What else? Referrals. I'm in actually excellent health, so I haven't really needed anything else from him, except I am a woman, and every 3 years I have to get gynecological work done, specifically like a pap smear. And so 3 years ago, I had to get one done, and he was my medical practitioner. So I was like, well, I need my pap, I don't want to get cervical cancer. And there's nothing pleasant about it. And of course, because he's male, a woman has to be present in the room, so she was. But the issue is the man is, there's no other way to say it, he's gay. And I think this was the reason why it took him something like 5 or 6 minutes to take a Q-tip and just swipe my cervix for some mucus. He just couldn't he couldn't get in there. He couldn't do it, to the point where, you know, the woman in the room with me, the nurse or the receptionist, and I were like making eye contact, like this. I mean, it sucks at the best or worst of times. There's no best of times when you've got your feet in stirrups and someone's swabbing you, but it was pretty bad. So, you know, and then you know, you contrast that with one of my really good friends, you know, who's a guy, and he has to get his prostate checked every, I don't know how often you guys get it done, and he's like, yeah, I mean, but my doctor's like, he's gayer than Christmas. And I'm like, that's who you want to check your prostate. If anybody knows their way around an ass and a prostate, it's a gay man. He does not know his way around a cervix. So those are the things that you think about when you're sitting on the bench, you know, here on Granville Street Bridge. And I'm not going to go much farther, but I will show you that there's another bench a little bit further down. Let's see if I can zoom. And I'm going to have pictures of all this anyway. But I've really rethought the whole idea of installing these things. If this is all the city can do, I mean, it looks like they're doing something else down there, but construction in the city, it's mostly make-work projects, you know. And I've written an article about this before, where it's, you know, one guy working and then a bunch of hole standers, you know, the one guy in the hole, and then the other guy's just standing around smoking, drinking Tim Hortons and looking at him. Or just, you know, texting. Yeah, that's the city of Vancouver. It takes 1 year to close off half of a city block and build a plaza. No, 2 years. That's what they did in the case of my neighborhood. Anyway, we're heading back. I just wanted to give you a visual of the benches, the Granville Street Bridge experience. Actually, maybe it is not too bad with the concrete barriers. I mean, normally it's just terrifying. It is a terrifying experience to walk across this thing, cycle across this thing, anything at all. But yeah, I mean, for tens of millions of dollars, you know, putting these things all the way down the street and installing some benches, that seems pretty appropriate for the city. So way to go, Terminal City. All right, I gotta head, but I am so jacked on coffee. I gotta do this more often.